I thought I would just hop on. I am taking lunch now. The lighting's not great. I'm taking lunch now, and let me just say live chat. There we go. And I need to do my makeup, and I've not been great at doing lives this week, so I figured this could work out well. And I know time zone wise, most people are going to be on replay, but it is much easier for me to just do this because I'm also filming vlogs at the same time. So I am finding it a little tricky to film both because the vlogs are obviously going to be a lot more curated. They live online in a different spot, etc. So I thought I'd just do a quick catch up. Also because thanks to, I think it was Bug Dugger that suggested this. If it wasn't Bug Dugger and it was you and I'm giving credit to the wrong person, let me know. Someone, hey Sachini, oh my goodness, why are you up at this time? Or is it afternoon for you? It's 11:21 here. So somebody suggested, I think it was Bug Dugger, that I do a crime tour. And I've booked that for tonight. So I've got one of these little mics. And it is a little like, it's not the best quality. It's not like Rode quality, you know? But I'm considering asking the guy if he minds actually attaching it to himself, and then streaming the tour. I have insomnia. It's 4:22 a.m. Oh my God, I hate insomnia so much. I freaking hate it. And people always give the same damn advice that when you actually have insomnia, doesn't work. But what does work for me is giving up. Not on life, just I get up and I just do whatever I want until I actually feel myself getting a bit tired. And then I always move to a different room, which I've never seen anyone suggest. And I wish that I'd seen that suggestion earlier in life. I moved to a different room because by the point that I've decided to get up, hey Sharon, you also up? Oh, okay, we're in the same time zone, Sharon, because you're in the UK, right? I don't fight it, I sleep when I can, exactly. So once you've reached the point of getting up, you've given up, right? Like, this is not happening. I'm really frustrated. Let me get up. You have already got that really frustrated feeling with the bed and the room. And it's just like, I need to get out of here. So I try to just sleep somewhere else if I can. Sharon, without doxing yourself, are you near the north or the south? I learned a lot about my history yesterday. That makes my life make a lot more sense. I did a comedian guided tour. Also, I must just keep an eye on the time because I'm on lunch. I'm not like off for the day. I finish at 3. I did a guided tour with a comedian, and turns out that me being so stubborn, and in his words, aggressively stubborn, is like a key trait of the Scots. So, yeah, I actually, it's not a like 100%, what is the word? Diagnosis, but my psychologist said she's pretty sure that I have pathological defiance disorder, which is like, if you tell me to do something, I'm immediately not going to want to. In the south. Nice. Oh, that's where I was. Well, I was near Essex the last time, so not super south. No, not the last time. The last time I was in London and Milton Keynes, and then Somerset. The time before I was in right near Essex. Like, there's a circle and you go left to Essex and right to the town I was in. The town I was in is apparently a little more like fancy schmancy. I don't know. What am I doing? Also what I loved is, okay, not loved, but I found it entertaining that the two most famous serial killers in Scotland have a bar named after them. Can't wait to see that part of the crime tour. 7 miles from the Somerset border. Oh, I loved Somerset. Seriously, like, I have family in Crewkerne, and so we went to the Jurassic Coast, and it was so beautiful. And I went to this antique warehouse. I think it was actually in Crewkerne. If it was easier to get things from the UK to South Africa, I promise you I would have come home with that whole freaking antique shop. I loved it. I thought that the people there would be a bit friendlier, because people always say like, yeah, if you head further from London, like, people are a lot friendlier. That's not what I found there. I'm having a bit of a crisis because I can't figure out if I want my fringe up or down. Because I don't have scissors and I need to trim it again. And I don't know how many people were in Recovery Addicts Live when I was trying to figure out if I can buy a little Swiss Army knife and then have to take it through security coming in. And I decided not to. Now I really regret it. Also, I forgot to say this. So we went through border control. I went through Monday evening. Vaughan went through Monday midday. And if you are outside of the UK, you might also be completely unaware of this. But the system, it wouldn't be me, it would be Vaughan, because I other passports. That's gone offline. There's like 2-hour queues to get through passport control. Stuff must have been old as dirt there. It was. But I, like, especially, there's a thing for me, like old books. I really want Maya Angelou's, oh, I forgot the name. No, I can't remember. Maya Angelou's book. I can't remember which one. One of them. I really want it, but I don't want a new version. To me, those like collectibles, I really want them to have their own story. Like, one of my favorite things at charity shops is if I pick up a book and someone's written a note to, like, if the book was gifted to someone a while ago, and then they write a note like, "Hi Gladys, happy 75th birthday, something something," and they sign the date, and I can see like this book has had its own story. That I can actually get emotional talking about it, mostly because also when we moved from Zim to South Africa, my grandparents had to leave a lot behind. I don't know, Gladys was the first granny name that came to mind. My granny's name was not Gladys, but her sister's was. So a lot of stuff stayed behind. And then at the farm that my dad lived at, there was a shed, and a lot of the like family heirlooms were in the shed. and they had to burn their rubbish because there's no rubbish collection, and the whole shed burnt down. So there goes all the other family history that was available. I don't know if someone just knocked on the door, but I'm gonna ignore it. I've got the do not disturb sign on. Why would you knock? Fringe up or down? Can't decide. Maybe up. I feel like when my fringe is up, I need to be wearing a scarf. I don't know why. This is so awkward because now I don't want to talk about I don't talk about true crime stuff when there's potentially somebody at the door. Yes, I true crime paranoid. To be honest, it's not a security concern for me at all. It's more just that I have actually made, it's probably housekeeping, to be honest. I've made quite a mess of my suitcase, and I've already made the bed and everything myself. I don't want housekeeping coming in, but I always feel bad saying it. I don't need you. That's not how I mean it. I've lost me mascara. Oh, guys. Everybody that is not Scottish or British has asked me if I'm from the US. I don't think I sound American at all. I think I'm pretty far from. That's been a weird thing. So many people asking that. Okay, give me a minute. I need to find my mascara. Hey, Steve. Yeah, I think literally I couldn't sound further from American if I tried. Especially because, so the reason my accent has a little bit of a Britishy sound is because in Zim, everyone speaks like they have a hot potato in their mouth. So every now and then that comes back, and then I'm like, ooh, Moi, can we go to the park to have a cup of tea? When I used to drink, that drunk Vicky is British through and through. Don't know why. And posh. And a millionaire, which sober Vicky did not enjoy. Consolidating. What else did I want to tell you? So I found the tour with the comedian on Get Your Guide, which my sister told me about. I used it in Paris as well, and the prices are really good, and that's who I booked the true crime tour with as well. I don't think there's a referral link or anything, but I'm gonna check it out. If I do find one, well, just, yeah, you can look at Get Your Guide, but if I can get if there's a discount that you can get, then I will try to find it. But highly recommend looking for true crime tours wherever on there, and also the comedy tour. I'm going to see, I know that there's a comedian in Cape Town that used to do it, but I don't think he does it anymore. I want to see if I can find one wherever I go. That was the best way to do a tour, because I get so bored of like, and over here we have this. He still told us all of that history, but it wasn't like, it didn't feel like you were in school. It was more like joking with friends. Neat way for a comedian to make money. Yeah. And it was like, quick conversion, just over maybe $30 roughly. It was 590 Rand. Just so much more interesting. And also then you learn like less, like if I wanted to learn stuff in a history lesson, I'd just watch a YouTube video. Yeah, it's housekeeping. Also, this hotel is in, like, it's close to a warehouse that trucks are delivering things and reversing, and that's what that beep, beep, beep constantly is. All the windows are closed and everything. For some reason, there's like a depot or something, and the trucks are constantly reversing. Constantly. Okay, so I've been on for 17 minutes, which means I've been on lunch for about 20, so I have about 40 minutes left. I'm debating whether I go to a coffee shop nearby and carry on writing there. I've got to write, today I'm writing about what is the cave's name? Starts with an M, and an entire family was killed there. And I want to say like Masanagwa, maybe? The family of the alleged perp still don't believe it was him, and it seems like there's a lot of information that it wasn't. So anyway, it's quite a brain-intensive one, but it's going to be interesting to write. So I'm trying to decide if I should go somewhere local or I need to get Prep and Prime face moisturizer from Primark. But I always find myself getting lost in Primark because they have so much Disney stuff and everything's just so fun and exciting that I land up losing time there. I finish at 3, so it's probably smarter to go somewhere local and then work, in the great words of Rihanna. And then after that, explore, etc. Also, what happened with Daryl Brooks? I was flying and then I clean forgot to come back online. And that pastor's wife, Mika, I saw talk of a 911 call, but I haven't found it yet. Obviously, if you don't know, I work for a channel that writes about 911 calls. So whenever I see these things, I tend to look for the call so that I can write about it. I think he pled out. So he waited until literally the day of and then pled out. Classic. I mean, I say I have... oh, did you hear it, Sachini? Where did you hear it? I need to find it. Let me just make a note. I haven't heard it, but I feel like RA played it yesterday. Okay. I wonder if he did a FOIA for it or if he got it on the line. Because if I have to do a FOIA... Oh, okay. True crime, grizzly. Just search for it. Perfect. If I have to do a FOIA, then I'm gonna stay away. I don't FOIA unless I really have to. So you remember a few years ago, there was a story in the US of a teenage girl who told the guy, who I think was her boyfriend. Thanks, Steve. I can note to that. She told him to just go ahead and terminate, right? And then she was charged in his death. I am starting to think, and this is a half-baked thought, it's in my opinion, it's like I don't know if it could work out, I don't know if it could go wrong, but I almost feel like if somebody terrorizes you the way that it sounds like she was, from my very limited knowledge on the story, then they should face charges. I know it's like, it would be very tricky, but maybe something similar to the Crumblies. I don't know. Also, because the most dangerous time for a DV victim is leaving. That has been statistically proven. So I don't know. It's very half-baked, because how do you prove that he drove her to that point? I don't know. There's got to be some kind of deterrent, because also, I am not even joking, we have an entire 2-hour compilation of husbands who say their wives drowned in the bath. And guess what? They never did. Not one of them drowned in the bath. Not one. So, yeah. There's that. I got, unrelated note, I got overwhelmed with my 5 to-do lists on all different pages. So I wrote another to-do list on a different notepad. And now I have to try and consider how to not lose my to-do list. Why do we do this? Yes, that's the one. That's the one I was talking about, Sachini. Exactly that story. She just texted him, do it, or something like that. That's exactly the story. These little tufts are not doing what I want them to do today. Because so please correct me if I'm wrong. Her tires were slashed and she was getting calls. I mean, yeah, she was getting harassing calls. I probably need to listen to the call before I even speculate. This is not journalist Vicky speaking. This is normal human Vicky speaking. Don't hold it against me. I am not unbiased in this particular situation, because I'm uninformed. He wrote her a really nasty letter. Why does that not surprise me? It's probably also why he said self-induced. So you don't mean self-inflicted? Self-induced? That's the most gaslighting sentence I've ever heard if someone has taken their own life. Well, there I just said the words that YouTube's gonna... This is going well today. So my GHD, it's not doing it anymore. The other day it was making weird noises, and I've had it for like 14 years. And I just said to Vaughn, like, I don't know what I'll do if it dies, because the new ones aren't the same. More than 14 years. I was in 2008. Oh no, it is 14 years. I sold my drum kit for a hair straightener. Choices, right? I mean, I don't regret it now that it's still alive 14 years later. But I do kind of wish I'd thought about it a bit more, because drum kits are freaking cool. I inevitably would have landed up getting rid of it, though, to move from the city I kind of grew up in to Cape Town. I think the most... actually, do you know what? I'm a little torn. Maybe I'll do both. There is a story that I have been in touch. Let's say this. The theme is similar to what we were just talking about. However, the mutual children had a similar fate, and the husband blamed that. Basically, police didn't even investigate really and called it an S-M, right? Anyway, I have been in contact with the family for the channels that I work for, because I watched a little bit of this story, and immediately my intuition was like, this is not okay. Like, there is no ways. However, we are really struggling to get information, because in Alabama, you have to be a resident to do a FOIA request. And in general, I try not to cover things without giving a right to reply. So I'm at a little bit of a crossroads, but if I can't get it right, like I'm probably going to try and make a plan to get it on one of the channels, and then I can also cover it on my own. Guys, I have the biggest, shiniest gray hair. Oh, that wasn't it. Look at that, it's gray. Like, this is like granny hair. It feels like granny hair. Oh my gosh. I'm only 33. I can't remember what I was saying. Oh yeah, so I'm in touch with the family, and I don't want to do like conflict of interest, because I managed to get in touch with the family by mentioning like I would love to cover it on the channel I work for. So then what I'll do is, once it's published there, then I will share the link, and then we can talk about it on a stream. Because it might be going to one of the smaller channels. That's like my second born. So I want it to do well. Oh. I should show you guys. Actually, I'm not going to do that. I was going to show the outside view, but it's on. I never post the location live. Like, even when I did social media as part of my like brand, I would always delay posting where I was, just in case there's stalkers out there. So you'll have to wait to see it in the vlog. How's your trip? Enjoying Scotland? Yeah. Learning a lot about my ancestry. And doing so much walking. From 3 today, I am going to go back to Old Town, which is like, for those who don't know, I completely forgot there was a difference when I got here. So I'm going to go to Old Town and go to the Writers' Museum and the National History Museum, and try to do like some of the more touristy stuff. Obviously I saw some of it yesterday. And then tonight I've got the true crime tour, which I will try to stream. And tomorrow, one of Vaughn's colleagues' partners is also here, and was also in Barcelona when we did the trip there. So when they're doing work things, then he and I do our own thing. Tomorrow we're probably going to go to Glasgow for the day. Unfortunately, the partners are going to be busy the entire day, so we won't get to see our people. But yeah, Glasgow. The comedian yesterday said it's well worth it. Everyone's saying it's like 40 minutes outside of Edinburgh, and everywhere I look, it's an hour 30. So I don't know if Scotland time is like computer time, you know, when it's like 10 minutes remaining, but then it's actually like 20 minutes, like Uber. Prime example. Oh, and also I have a blister, so that's when you know you are definitely touristing the right way. It's not a working holiday. Whoops. It's not a working holiday until you have a blister on your foot, just to be clear, in case anyone had dodgy thoughts. I forgot to say this the other day, or maybe I did and I just forgot that I said it. I read a book on the way here by Jodi Picoult, who I always loved. When I was a teenager, I would try to like convince the teachers to just let me read in class when I wanted to, because I worked really fast and then obviously got bored. So I always read her books, but then they went a little, how can I word it? Like, I don't know. She had a bit of a bump and I didn't enjoy them for a while. And then I was at the airport and it's like part of my routine now. At the airport, you can get books without tax. So it's a 15% discount. And I was rushing and I walked in and I saw that book and I picked it up and read it on the first day. And turns out it was a book that's been out for a while but had really bad reviews, and I had just seen a different cover to the one I was used to. But it's this one, Mad Honey. For those of us who love court, she actually did the court scenes really well, which is what was always my favorite thing. She actually, like, when she researches, she actually goes and sits in court and watches the cases and speaks to people. And then, like, it's so well researched that they even, oh yes, story time. On the car ride to court, Jordan had explained the history of the legal concept of reasonable doubt. It traces back to the United Kingdom to jurist William Blackstone, who said in the 1700s, "It is better that 10 guilty persons escape than one innocent suffer." This idea was meant to protect not only the defendant, but also the jurors. Since only God could judge a man, it was a mortal sin for a juror to convict the wrong person. It is therefore the prosecution's responsibility to remove reasonable doubt in the mind of the jury. The fun fact, though, Jordan said, is that there's no formal jury instruction that defines reasonable doubt. So if you can produce a different theory, an alternative explanation of a series of events believable enough to lodge in just one juror's mind, then they legally should not convict your client. Should not, he'd said, not will not. There we go. So anyway, that's Jodie, Mad Honey. Loved it. But I saved that to actually say on a stream because I thought it was like, there's been so many guilty verdicts where there's been enough doubt that I think that it just needs to be like reiterated. I don't know. Just, yeah, it's like, how did they get to guilty on the Airbnb? How? I don't see guilty there at all. Because of the reasonable doubt. Good Lord, I don't know what the housekeeping's doing outside, but it sounds like they're like banging on pipes. Oh, I think she's vacuuming against the wall that's like right next to our wall. What do I need to pack? Laptop, notebook, pen. Camera is still charging. Headphones. So, what was I going to say now? It was something to do with crime, Scotland. I don't actually remember. Oh, how's this? On Monday evening, there was a guy like commissioning through Glasgow, having a bit of a mental thing with a chainsaw. And we were like, of course this kind of thing happens when we're like planning the trip. Never happens, but only when we're planning a trip. Oh, my blister's hurting a little. And all these plasters are... Oh, I just nearly swore then, forgetting that I shouldn't be swearing. I think I better sign off and then get myself to the coffee shop, because I'm gonna order food and then I'm gonna write as much as I can, as quickly as I can, so that my brain can be chilled when I clock off. But sometimes I get so into the research, I have to like remind myself that I don't have to go as deep into the story as my brain says it needs to. Like that happened really, really hectically with Shannon Gilbert, who was one of the potential victims of the Long Island serial killer, but Gilgo Beach hasn't been officially labeled as one. But that was a rabbit hole. I thoroughly enjoyed researching that, and I enjoyed writing it, and it is very bothersome and weird. And then the other one that I just can't stop researching and finding more about is for the History Channel, not the Crime Channel, and that is the Texas winter storm, which I could swear I've been writing since December last year. And then I just keep rabbit holing. Rabbit hole, rabbit hole, rabbit hole. Because I started off with a 911 call about a gas leak and then stumbled on car pileups and then children-related things and then a hotel fire, flooding. And it was just like every single thing kept getting more and more insane. Okay. If I can't, so I'll go live and then like when it's evening, it'll be 7 p.m. here. Hopefully not at the same time as Recovery Addict, but there's not much I can do because it's a crime tour. I'll go live, and then if the sound is horrible, I'll try to rather just switch to recording. My camera isn't fully charged, but whatever. Maybe I must just leave it here charging. Yeah, because obviously, like, it is a bit cheeky to tell someone, like, can you stick this microphone to you? A little bit cheeky. All right. Let me shake my pom-poms. They'll let you live stream that. I think so. I don't know. Because I asked permission yesterday during the comedy tour to record. And then I asked him, is there anything he doesn't want me to post? And he said, no, it's absolutely fine. Except maybe if there's jokes that don't land, or like, he was pretty chilled about it. Because it's advertising at the end of the day, right? Like, yeah. It's just it'll be so much easier to live stream it than record it, because I essentially wanted true crime to live under my live streams and then my vlogs to be like ADHD related stuff. But I'll figure it out. I'll chat to the guy. I think if it was in Europe, I'd have a problem. But thanks to Brexit, because Europe's privacy laws are a lot more hectic. I wish YouTube had a feature where you could just like blur like some people around. Can you do that? Oh, no. That's just me putting a filter on myself. That's not what I want. No filter. Okay. What is this thing? What? Highlight saved to your channel is unlisted. I don't know what I just did. Yeah, because it would be nice if I could just not stream random people on the street. But I'm going to ask and I'm going to try. It'll be easier for me as well because then I don't have to send it to the editor to cut it up, etc., etc., etc. Anyway, let's touch base later. If you guys are in Recovery Addicts Live when I go live, which I think you will be, please don't stress. Don't leave that live. I honestly do not mind. The interaction of the live is not as serious to me as having to cut it up, basically. So I'll see you guys later. Sicini, I hope you've managed to go to sleep. I don't know if you're like lurking while you're trying to fall asleep, but I hope that you get sleep soon. Bye. Oh, wait, I forgot. I don't know how to end a live again. So bye, but I'm just going to stare at the screen for a few minutes while I figure it out.